right, Gary. Ron Rice to kick off for Georgia Tech. They got the sun on their back. Dogs at Manning and Moss deep. Let's see if he tries to kick it high and get that sun angle in the receiver's face, which they sometimes do. Not this time. Straight, long, and deep, and over the end line and bounced high up in the bleachers. So Georgia will put it in play on the 20. Last game of the regular season for many seniors, by the way, on both offense and defense for Georgia today. Try to run down them if time permits after a while. One of them, Tommy Lewis, has spent his whole career and then some on that scout team and junior varsity team and just really worked. Lastinger, the quarterback, in an eye. Two men split out. He's coming out the option. He pitches to Tron Jackson, who got a block. 5, 10. Down the sideline, 15, 20. Wayman, he's out of bounds. Where? Stepped out on a 32, I believe. Not enough room. Toby Lance, the free safety, bumped him out. Barry Young threw a great block in the corner for him, and the Dogs swept little Tron Jackson wide to the right for 12 yards and a first down on the 32. 17-14, Georgia leading. Kevin Harris, flanker out, and Wilbur Strozier has come in, the offensive line. Herman Archie splits out to the left. Tex in a 5-2. Lastinger looking at it. Barry Young in motion, and now they pitch Tron Jackson to the other side. He tries to cut in. He got hit hard. Knocked down at the 35. Defensive man came off the block, Sammy Lilly, and the inside linebacker, Ted Roof, came off the blocker enough to slow him down. Then Lilly knocked him down, and Tron only got a couple of yards to the 34.5. It'll be second down and 8. Fred Lane, a little 5'10", 166-pound freshman flanker in and Archie out. Kevin Harris is a split in with him, and they're slotted to the right on second down. Tech still in a 5-2. Lastinger looking, and he got hit viciously behind the line. It'll be ruled incomplete. Pat Swilling, the linebacker, blitzed up in there and hit Lastinger behind the line, and they really had his arm coming forward. There's no argument, incomplete pass. Lastinger really got racked behind the line before he could throw off to the right. He was looking over here toward the press box or Georgia Tech side, where he had two men very wide, one about 5-6 yards across the line and one on the line. Third down, Georgia on their own 34.5. Barry Young, the fullback. Tron Jackson is the tail. Tech's in kind of a 5-3 now instead of a 5-2. Lastinger runs a trap with Tron Jackson. He tried to get out. He fumbled the ball, and he managed to shove it out of bounds around the 36 as he went out. Tried to run a draw with him. He tried to veer to the left. He was hit on a 36. He was shoving it out as he went down. Gain of a couple of yards, and that's all. It's fourth down now. Only got a yard and a half. Fourth down, about 6. Georgia in a kicking situation. And stopped on their first series here on the 36-yard line. 17-14, Georgia leading. Jack Westbrook, single safety for Tech. He's got 3 blockers, about 12, 13 yards up in front of him. Chip Andrews, the punter for Georgia. Tech's got 7 men on the line. The snap is good, and the kick is pretty good, not real high. Taken on the 25. Westbrook runs straight ahead, and a man missed him to 35, 6, 7, 8, 9. He shot straight ahead. He ran with his momentum past the first man. Clarence Kay, the tight end, had to finally hit him. McIntyre had an arm on him. Steve Boswell, a reserve linebacker, hit him. Tech's ball on the 39. Georgia Tech's first shot at the ball here in the second half. Georgia had the option to receive this half and could not move. They got 1 first down and bogged down. Dogs in a 5-2. The line kind of stunted. They run a pitch to Levette. He's coming outside of the corner. Not a lot of room to run. However, he moved, I think, to the 45 before they could get him out. He really had a bunch of yardage in the first half. Donald Chumley, defensive tackle, shoving him out, and let's see where they knock him out. From the 39 to the 46, he got 7. Levette just gobbling up that yardage in chunks. They have needed him for weeks. Corey Collier was playing brilliantly for them to pick up the slack. And Levette today are really having a day. Oh, he had one last year against us, too. Tech flops a man around to the right side. They got a slot to the left. And they go to the fullback, and Cohn going at the tackle. and getting hit but squirting over the 50, and I believe a first down. He got about 5 yards. Ronnie Cohn driving at right guard and right tackle. Gilbert and Sims had to knock him down on the Georgia 49 or just inside, and it's a first down. Tech moving. Levett and Cohn have moved them. Dogs on offense. Got a lot of seniors coming out. I still haven't got time to run them down. We lose so many people. Tech first down there on a Georgia 49. Dogs in a 6-2. Man in motion to the wide side. Quick pitch to Levett. Here he comes out. Pulls away from a man to the 50 to the 45. Off balance. His knee hit the ground around a 42. Calvin Ruff was missing him behind, partially slowing him down, and then Black and Dean finally hit him on the 42, Bill.
Levett does a real good job on those lateral plays. He's almost like an old-fashioned tailback. He runs out, cuts off his block, very much like Dorsett of the Cowboys and Ray Goff of Georgia several yards back.
He got 7 yards just inside the Georgia 42 coming to the left. He was almost trapped a yard behind the line, but ran through Ruff. Tech slot man in motion on second down, and they go to Levett again, and he comes straight ahead, and this time he jammed in there. Kenneth Sims made him head on in the hole. Levett trying to come straight ahead, and he got maybe a yard or so. Let's see, a yard and a half. Dogs lead 17-14, but Tech driving here early in this third quarter. Got a yard and a half. Ball sitting outside the 40. Tech is 3rd and 2. They have to go to the Georgia 38.5. 17-14, Georgia leading. Dogs have a lot of veterans in that offensive line playing their last time against Georgia Tech today, among others. Georgia's in a 4. It's a 5 now. Men coming up a little on the corners. 3rd and 2 is all they need, and they go pitching to Levett. He's coming around the corner, and he was shoved out around the 39. I know he got 1 or 1.5. I don't know if he got 2. He pitched him to the short side. Going right by him and bouncing a little off his arm was Kenneth Sims, the defensive guard out of Greenville, South Carolina. Ball on the 39. It's going to be 4th down and a half yard is all Tech needs. They need 2 feet. 11:33 to go in the third quarter. Tech is going to go for it. They don't even need a yard. 4th down. 4th down, a half yard or so. They're right on the dog 39. They have to go to the 38 and a half. And the Tech fans stand up to roar the offense on, and look at Georgia just stacked up in the line. And I mean stacked. 2 tight ends in. They go to the fullback, and he dove and made it at right guard. He just kind of went low over the pile, not real high. But they got 2 big yards. Ronnie Cohn for the first down. And he reached, I think, the 37 and a half. And now Tech here in an excellent position. They led 7-0. Dogs tied it. They led 14-7, and the Dogs tied it. And the Dogs went ahead 17-14. And here's Tech sitting just inside the Georgia 38. That last gain was about a yard and a fraction. And they go to Levett. They run a little trap at the tackle, and they close it up on a 35 or so. Levett had a hole at Georgia's right tackle. Here's left Culpepper and Tony Flack. Culpepper may have hit him first, and Flack, the cornerback, hit him. Gain was 2, and it's going to be 2nd down. Georgia Tech sitting on the Georgia 35. 10:53, clock running in the third quarter. Georgia leading 17-14. Norton split to one side, and Kieser out to the other in a wide slot. Dogs now in a 5 with a man up with one of the slot men. Now Levett's in motion that way on second down. Here's a quarterback draw again, and it's diagnosed right there. Shumley, the tackle first, and then Calvin Ruff, the end. They ran the trap. That's the 3rd time today they've run it, where Levett goes in motion to the wide side where the wide receivers are, and they ran that quarterback draw. The play was 3 yards inside the 32. Tech now is 3rd down, about 4. They had about 2.5, and then they had about 3.5. They're on the Georgia 31.5, and they have to go just inside the 28. 17-14 Georgia, early third quarter. Tech needing short yardage on 3rd down. Dogs in a 6-2 at the moment. Wide man coming back in motion, and Dewberry sprinting to the right. Throws to a back, catching it and falling down right around the 28.5. Corey Collier, the running back. I saw where his hip hit the ground, but I don't know where they're going to mark it. He fell inside the 29. It might be 4th down and 6 inches. Just outside of the 28, where it's 4th down about 3 or 4 inches. Tech only needs inches now on 4th down. A stubborn drive. They're not getting the yardage in big bites like they did so easily in the first quarter and the early part of the second quarter, where they're getting it in pieces now. Tech gambles on 4th down here, but they only need inches. Cord Collier's a running back. Cone is a fullback. And Georgia Tech jaw to jaw lined up in there, and Dewberry only needs to give him inches. And he goes to the fullback, who jumped the right tackle for a couple of yards and got the first down. Tech knocking and coming down, trying to get the lead back again, trying to get their 3rd lead of the day. I have nothing else on Texas and Texas A&M. Texas is all of a sudden blowing A&M out, 45-13 in the 4th quarter. They were behind 13-0 early. First down, and that play lunged a yard and a half to the 26.5. Tech's only 26.5 yards away from taking the lead back. Georgia's still hurting on defense some with Hogue and Little gone. Though, can't you remember the substitute Rover, who played so well against Florida, blocked the punt late in a half. Here's a pitch coming to Levet. He starts in. He's coming to the side, and it was Culpepper, I think, who caught him first around the 26. Dean, the safety, coming over. Had a hole at the tackle and then veered back out even more to the left and only got about a yard to the 25.5, Bill.
So far, Tech has not made any offensive mistakes, which cost them big yardage, except if you call the block punt. But they have not lost any yardage, have had no fumbles, and had no offensive mistakes, which has kept the ball moving for them.
2nd and 9, Tech just outside the Georgia 25, trailing by 3 points near the halfway point now in the 3rd quarter. Georgia's in a 6-3, and the fullback coming up the middle. Blocking opened up for him, and he kept driving to the 21. Ronnie Cohn straight ahead, and he moved it about. I'm going to give him 5. He's just outside the 20. Lauren?
Tech had good success on 1st down. They've gotten good yardage on their 1st down plays. They haven't in this series, and now they're facing the 3rd and 4th situation. But as Coach Hartman says, they're very consistent. The offensive line's getting good execution. They're moving the ball, and now Georgia, more so than at any point in the game, really needs a big play.
Levet's got 148 yards, Lauren, on 18 carries. They got 3 wideouts now. Now they got the slot man in motion. And they go to Levet in the middle, and he got hit right at the line. Was that Thurston or Gilbert? On his knees, Tommy Thurston, I believe, or Gilbert, cracked him right on the line. Freddie Gilbert first. Ron Rice, the field goal kicker, I believe, will come in and try and tie it up. There was a man partially blocked down right where Levet was going to veer off to his left, right inside the end or tackle. Got a half a yard, that's all. It's 4th down, 3.5 for Tech. They line up wide to the right of the ball, then shift back over it, and they'll try a tying field goal here with 6:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ball on the 20. Dogs, 8 men on the line. Flack jumping up and down, trying to bother Rice. It's held by Dewberry. And the kick is reaching up, and the kick is all right. Yes, it's good. And we're all tied 17-17. 60-second network timeout, Bulldog Network.
A California beach party in cold, crisp old Milwaukee, or smooth, golden old Milwaukee Light. Man, it doesn't get any better than this. There's nothing like the flavor of America. Old Milwaukee beer. Old Milwaukee. And old Milwaukee Light. Tastes as great as the name. Stroh Brewery, Detroit, Michigan. All right.
Brooks Auto Parts is proud to again be a sponsor of Georgia football. Georgia fans expect the very best, and that's exactly what they'll get at any of the over 50 Brooks stores in Georgia. Quality parts and professional service since 1937. The parts you want when you want it. So remember, whether you live in Savannah, Brunswick, Albany, Dalton, Toccoa, or just about any place in between, look to the winning team of Brooks Auto Parts and Napa. When the name is Napa, the standard is quality. Georgia still trying to win their 9th game of the year. And don't think this isn't something. Rice kicks off for Tech. High, a little shorter this time. Moss on the one, dropped the ball. He picks it up. Can't go anywhere now to the 5. Knocked off balance on the 9. We made a bunch of mistakes like that to show how flat and unready we were in the first half, and now we just dropped the kickoff. Though he's looking in the sun, remember. So we're tied, and it's on the 8.5, and the Dogs are in a very tough, bad hole. He kicked it high, a little short, making the receiver look in the sun. Montgomery is now the tail, I believe. Lastinger to the fullback, driving at right guard. Barry Young pushing and driving. He had some blocking in there. Anderson, Keith Johnson, and Holton, I believe, in the middle. And Warren Gray is the guard. And the play came up to the 13.5. It got 5 big yards. Bobby Hodge, defensive end. Ted Ruth, the linebacker, hit him. 17-17 tie, getting a little late in the third quarter. Georgia down on their own 13.5. Lastinger looking at the check 5-2. It's almost a 5-4. Lastinger runs the option, and he pitches it to Montgomery, who got 7-8 yards out of bounds around the 23 or 4. Where'd he step out? Last second pitch. Lastinger running the option to the left. He turned the corner and pitched it, and Montgomery came up with about 7 and a first down just across the 21. Danny Jones, the linebacker. Toby Lance, the free safety. Tech getting pretty sure-handed tackling today from a secondary. Remember now, they lost their secondary defense early in the year. Finally got 3 of the guys back in the last game and this game. First down on the 21, and now they pitch to Montgomery to set the other side. He tries to cut back in and got racked on the 23 and only got a short 2 yards. He started out wide, decided he couldn't turn the corner, and came back in, and there was too many black shirts in there. Roof, the linebacker, first, and Pat Swilling, the end, hit him. Parker, the end, had an arm on him. It's second down, about 8.5, actually. Archie in and Lane out. Dogs trying to move here late in the third quarter. 17-17 tie. Tex had the only drive in this third quarter. Roughly a 40-yarder, and got a tying field goal out of it. They're in a 5-2 umbrella. The hand of Montgomery. He veers off to the left. He needs a block to the 30, to the 35, and squirts it out to the 35 or 6 and might have a first down. He had enough blocking in front of him. He had a hole at left tackle. He was picking his way a little, and Keith Montgomery of Toccoa ran it well and wound up with about 12 yards or better to the 36 or 13. Westbrook, the safety. Sammy Lilly, the right cornerback, got him. First down on the 36. Georgia splits a man short left and wide to the right. Tex in that 5-2 again. And Lastinger fakes, bootlegs out, looks, throws back to the back in the flat on the left. Montgomery's got a block, 5, 10, 15 yards, 16, 17 maybe. He dumped to Montgomery. James Brown, the guard, pulled out there in front to block for him as Lastinger bootleg to the right, threw back to the left. And the play is 15 or so just across the 49. Ted Roof, the linebacker, had to get him, Bill.
Well executed by Lastinger. He looked to his offensive right, then threw back to his offensive left. Well, a well-disguised play.
And Warren Gray had a fine block out there in front of Montgomery, the back. Georgia driving now. They're inside the Tech 49, getting a little late in the third quarter. Got a slot left on the short side of the field. Now the slot man, Archie, coming back across to the right. So they run to the fullback, and Barry Young leans in and crosses the 45 and got about 3.5, almost 4. Lauren Smith.
Larry, I'm sure Coach Hartman will agree, much better offensive line blocking this half than in the first half, at least on this drive. And that was the challenge that they got from Alex Gibbs, the offensive line, during the dressing room. Get out there and take command of the line of scrimmage. That's the way you win football games.
You can say that about any football team.
Young got just about 4 to the Tech 44.5. Slot to the right. Lastinger pitching it to Montgomery. Got a block. Cuts inside across the 40, 35, 33, and down. He'll have a first down. He got enough of blocking out here on our right. And Keith Montgomery got 9 and about 11 to the 32.5. Herman Archie threw one of the blocks for him. Sammy Lilly, the cornerback, and Danny Jones, the linebacker, hit him. Georgia's driven it down to the 32.5. They change the guard. Take Gray out. Run Brown back in there. Peter Anderson is the other guard. Keith Johnson, the center. Hockaday short. Lane wide, and there's a hole in the middle. Keith Montgomery trying to juke around a man. They got him on the 20. They ran a little trap in the middle, and Keith Montgomery shot about 11 or 12. Toby Lance, the free safety, had to get him. Montgomery got 12 and a half. Running with quickness in there. The kid out of Toccoa, Georgia. And the Dogs got a first down on the 20. Tron Jackson now has come in at the tail. Georgia driving late here in the third quarter. 17-17 tie. Harrison Lane are slotted to the left. They've come all the way to the 20. And now they pitch it to Tron Jackson. He's coming out wide. He cuts into the 15, to the 10, the 11, out of bounds, right around the 11. Didn't quite get to the 10. Danny Jones, the linebacker, got him. Came to the short side. Peter Anderson, a guard, one of the men that had pulled out there helping. Clarence Kay, the tight end, was there. And they moved from the 20 and a half to just inside the 11. He got 9 or 9 and a half, Tron did. It's second down, about a half a yard. You've got 3:21 to go in the third quarter. McIntyre barely getting back on the field in time to tackle. He had started out, had to run back in. Took Anderson out. Georgia, a couple tight ends. Strozer's lined up at the right tight end. They're in an offset T formation. Barry Young went right in at right guard. He needed a half a yard. He got about a yard and a half, I think, to the 9. Georgia will be goal to go here. And now Anderson's going to come back in at the guard. McIntyre getting up slow. He might be fighting that bad ankle again. I'm guessing at that. Barry Young got it from the 10 and a half inside the 9. He got a good yard and a half. McCluskey was in for one play, is out. They've taken Brown out. McIntyre, I think, has come out of that line. Lastinger walks up to the line. The ball on the 9. First down and goal to go late in the third quarter. One wide out to the left. They go to Montgomery. He cuts in. He had a dive to reach about to the 5 and a half. They kicked the end out. As he came in, it was closing, so Keith Montgomery took off floating in the air. And he got maybe 4. Give him, they put it down here. Give him 3. He's inside the 6. Second down, 5 and a half for a touchdown. Mark Pike, number 2 defensive right end, was the first guy that hit him for Georgia Tech. McIntyre coming slowly back out at the tackle again. Red Lane out. 2:27 late in the quarter. They better watch their time. 17-17 tie. Harper has switched over to a tight end again. Dogs up to the line. 2 tight ends. Kay in motion to the left. Lastinger sprinting to the left. He's got Kay open, decides to turn and run. He fights down over the 5 and got hit on the 4. For a moment, Kay was open. For a moment, John didn't see him. He turned and cut in on an option roll left. Wanted to throw. And he got a yard and a half to the 4-yard line. Danny Jones, the linebacker, hit him. Bobby Hodge, a big giant end, weighs 272 on that side. Had an arm. Georgia's third down on the 4. Tech desperately trying to stop the drive. We're 17-17 tie. You got about 100 seconds now in the third quarter. Kevin Harris splits wide to the right. Archie goes in motion to that side. Tech's in a 5-man front. Lastinger sprinting to the right. Looking, there's a man open in there. Touchdown. Kevin Harris, only 3 yards deep. He went to the corner and hooked back around low. He hit Kevin Harris. Lastinger coming out to the right. Drilled it low, and Kevin Harris came back to him on a comeback pattern coming in low. 23-17. We just drove it, 91 yards, I believe. Great drive, Bill Hartman.
Great offensive line play. Great execution by Montgomery and Lastinger. A determined effort. 90 yards.
23-17, 87 seconds to go in the third quarter. Georgia just drove it a little better than 90 yards. Tech has 8 men on the line, trying to slant in on the left, and Butler sticks it up. The kick is good. 24-17, 30-second network break now on the Georgia Bulldog Network.
Grange Mutual believes safe drivers should be rewarded with more than a pat on the back from their insurance company. That's why Grange policyholders who come through year after year with no at-fault accidents get substantial safe driver discounts, up to 20%. There are other discounts available: second car, good student, and discounts to those who drive just a short distance to work. These prove that it pays to change to Grange, now and years from now. So see your independent Grange agent today.
Well, the seniors today, last time they faced Tech, it's Wisham and Hood and Harper and Brown. These are offensive men only at the moment. Gray and McIntyre and Clarence Kay and Lastinger and Barry Young, Brad Ansley, Melvin Simmons. And off the defense, Steve Barrows and Gilbert and Dooley and Thurston and Darrell Jones and Hogue and Dean and Painter. A lot of great seniors will leave this club.
And Paul Freight, who's been a 5-year kicker for us.
Hey, that's right. Yeah, there are 2 or 3 of those. I did remember the snapper. 24-17, 87 seconds. Butler will kick off. Corey Collier, the deep man for Tech. The kick is very high. It's going to be short. Collier waiting on the 9 to 10 to 15 to 20. And up to about the 26 and hit. And Tech will put it in play. They drove it 40-odd yards and got a field goal in the middle of the third quarter. And then Georgia, after fumbling a kickoff, came back 91 yards. Moss and Mitchell were the men that first hit Collier, and Tech now will be on their own 27. 83 seconds to go in the third quarter. Georgia leads 24-17. Texas has exploded to go way out in front of Texas A&M 45-13 after being behind 13-0 in the first quarter. Dewberry going to give it to Levette. He started right and tried to cut back in, and they knocked him down. Jake Richardson hit him first. Richardson, Culpepper, the linebacker, the second man. Give him a yard to the 28, 2nd and 9. Lauren?
You saw a little enthusiasm there by the defense then. They were yelling, screaming, patting one another on the back. That wasn't the case in the first half, so maybe the defense, maybe the entire team is finally becoming more aware and more active in this ball game.
Georgia hasn't had a lead this big all day. 7 points. They're in a 4-3 now. Dewberry wants to pass, and Gilbert's chasing him and got him back around the 15. Freddie Gilbert with tremendous speed at defensive end just caught him. He sensed it at the last second, trying to run away. Gilbert caught him. Chumley was coming on the other side or a little more up the middle and forcing him a little. Freddie Gilbert just sacked him from 2nd and 9 on the 28. They lose 13 yards in the play back to the 15. And it's now going to be 3rd down, Bill.
First offensive mistake Tech has made, with the exception of the block kick.
3rd down. Yeah, let's not forget Gary Cantrell, the substitute rover, blocked a kick late in a half and gave us a field goal. Dogs in the 5-man front, 3rd down, long yardage. Tech puts a man in motion to wide side. They try to run the trap. Levette, they throw him down, and that's Jim Auer out of New Jersey, defensive guard. Levette trying to go to hold the tackle. He lost 2 or 3 yards. They haven't marked it yet. That's the end of the third quarter. Georgia leads 24-17, 60-second network timeout here on the Bulldog Network.
On the field and off the field, it's important to weigh your options, then make the wise choice. Hi, this is Vince Dooley. And off the field, the wise choice means Wise snacks. Fine snacks like Wise regular chips, cheese doodles, Bravo tortilla chips, corn crunches, and Ridgie's potato chips. Have them at home or at a tailgate party. My family and I enjoy the great taste of Wise, and you will too when you make the wise choice. Get them at your neighborhood store. How about them snacks?
Pat Kraft Mills of Dalton, Georgia knows the importance of carpet. That's why Pat Kraft takes special care in producing quality carpet and use only the best and newest in fibers, colors, and textures, such as Zeftron 500 by Batishay. Exceptional performance. Color-fast colors. For a name to depend on, remember Pat Kraft Carpets. Write to Pat Kraft Mills Incorporated, Box 1087, Dalton, Georgia, 30720, or call them toll-free, 1-800-282-4024.
Jim Auer's play as they threw Levette for a 2.5-yard loss to the 12.5 has taken a deep punting situation. They haven't been in a situation like this, I don't think, all day. 4th down, long yardage. Tech is 280 yards net now. Georgia is 276. Rice going to punt from the end zone. Dogs with 7 men on the line. Almost blocked by Calvin Ruff coming in off the left side. Good high long spiral. Jimmy Harrell on the 45 hit right away. First one and then another. Harrell catching it, was trying to run by the first man and got one step and then got knocked down after a 42-yard kick by Rice. Georgia's ball on their own 46. Now Todd Williams will be the quarterback. Georgia leads by 7, but we're awfully early here. A couple of those big, colorful balloons, helium things, starting to float over downtown Atlanta, headed toward the stadium. That's probably Michael and Jonathan. Slot to the left with an eye. Worsham in motion back across. Hockaday out to the left. They run the fullback. McCluskey spinning over the 50 to the 48. David McCluskey. We switched him to fullback this week because of the injury situation there. Danny Jones hit him. McCluskey got 4 to the 48 and a half. He almost, let's give him 5. It's second down and 5. Ball just touching the Tech 48. Fred Lane out to one side. Hockaday to the other. Georgia leads 24-17. At last defensive stand, forced Tech to kick from a deep spot. Bootlegging Todd Williams, going to lob a pass to McCluskey in front. He reached and caught him on the 43, and then they knocked him down on the 40. When he threw that one right in front of himself, he had a jump in the air, and Todd lobbed it to him, and they got about 8 yards or 9 on it. Brownlee, a linebacker, got him. They got 9 to the 39 and a first down, Bill.
Great touch on the ball, just like Stabler.
Yeah, Todd bootlegged, had room to run, and then lobbed it over a defender in front of it, and McCluskey had to leap in front of him to catch him, and did. Remember earlier he had dropped the pass. That made up for it. First down on the 39. Dogs trying to drive again. Todd pitches it to Keith Montgomery. Oh, flag down. He's got 5, 10, 15. Watch a penalty, however, back here. Watch a penalty. They ran a quick pitch here, and they got Montgomery outside, but here comes a penalty, I think, against Georgia. Timeout here, 30-second network break on the Bulldog Network.
There's a feeling that's been growing in this country that we love. It's our guts and grit and energy that drive to rise above. For it's America. You've got the guts though now.
Here's to the guys who are making America great. From the guys who make Schlitz a great American beer.
Have a Schlitz, America. You've got the guts though now.
Schlitz from the Stroh Brewery Company, Detroit, Michigan.
The 16-yard run by Montgomery is out of there. 10-yard penalty holding Georgia's all the way back to the Tech 49. First down, long yardage. And they run a reverse to Fred Lane. Tech's got a man waiting for it. He cut inside. Lane's going to get 5, 10, 15, 20 yards to the 30. Caught from behind around the 26. And that little Fred Lane was really scooting. Danny Jones, the linebacker, read the play, waited for him in the corner, and missed him as Lane cut inside of him. And Lane got 21, 2, 3 yards. First down to the 26, Bill.
2 great moves by Lane. The Tech man had him for a loss. He juked him. Then he did another great move, ended up with a first down.
He was really flying. That linebacker read it and waited for him, and he cut inside of him too quick. So Fred Lane got the yardage back on the end around. Worsham splits left, Hockaday right. Worsham in motion off to that side now, and a quick pitch coming to Montgomery out inside the end. Uh-oh, flag down again. Montgomery a tackle, driving 3-4 yards. Georgia back to making mistakes again. Harrison, the safety. Danny Jones, the linebacker, hit him. Dogs keep on driving, but they keep on making penalties all of a sudden in the fourth quarter. They're trying to get a big lead. They lost a 16-yarder, but Lane got it back for him on a reverse from Todd Williams. Now they lost a 4-yard play and have to go back and become first and 20 again. 24-17, Georgia leading with 13:29 to go. That's 2 brutal 10-yard holding penalties to break your back. If they get points off this drive now, they've really done something. Worsham and Hockaday out, and Archie and Harris coming in. Georgia back out on the 36 now. They would have been on the 22-yard line, second and 6. Now they're back in the 36-yard line, first and 20. Harris splits to the right. Archie barely flank left. Texan a 5-2. Now they come up to a 5-3. Archie in motion now. Tech drops back to a 5-2, and they rotate with him. Todd Williams going to throw in the flat to Archie. One man there. He ran by him. They caught him from behind as he dodged the man and turned a 1-yard gain into about a 5. Anderson, a linebacker. Brownlee, a linebacker. The 2 inside linebackers and Tech caught him, but the play was 6 yards to the 30. Georgia's second down and 14 on the Tech 30. Dogs trying to take command of this thing, and primarily at the line of scrimmage in this fourth quarter, but the lead is only 7. Georgia up to the line. Keith Johnson over the ball. Archie and Hockaday slotted short on the right side, and now they run Archie in motion back over to the left. Todd Williams going to go the tail. Flag down. Keith Montgomery coming inside to tackle as Clay was blocking on that side. Watch, probably another penalty, yes. It'll be a motion penalty on Georgia again. penalty after penalty after penalty hitting Georgia in the fourth quarter, just as they're trying to get a 2-touchdown lead. Really making mistakes, apparently all of it in the backfield. Lauren, what do you got?
Well, that's been very depressing to the sideline because they were really up and ready, but these penalties are sort of taking the ginger out of the team. Naturally, it does that. What they want to do is make sure they at least stay in field goal range. So a big play on offense now is important. They need to get that execution without making mistakes.
Second down to 19. As the officials put Georgia all the way back out in the 35. They haven't done stuff like this all day. 12-24. They split Lane to the left and Archie to the right. Dodd Williams looking long yardage, second down. They've been shoved back to the 35. He's back to throw, and he's going for Fred Lane in the corner, and he overthrew him. He was just breaking away from his man as he came across the goal line, and Todd threw it too long. Third down. Georgia would like to get a little closer. The officials have taken the starts and the yardage out of the drive for them. They want it closer. They're sitting out in the 35. 24-17, 12-10. Bill, what are they going to do? Try to dump one over the middle for 10 or 15 or something?
I'd like to see them go to the middle for first down.
Dogs have really been eating up yardage, starting late in the third quarter and early here in the fourth, but the drive is broken here in the fourth by the penalties. Third quarter, they really moved it. Third down, long yardage. Todd running option, going to turn and cut in and going to get 5 and 10 and going to get spinning 15, 16 yards. He got down around the 19. He ran an option on him. Kay is waving at the bench. He wants to go for it. So does Keith Johnson, the center. Clarence Kay says, let's go for it. The ball's in the 19. 4th and 3, and Tech, because of the whistle, is going to keep their goal line protected and make Butler try a field goal from the hash mark. Menegazzi on that last stop. He's been that injured safety man all year. Played a junior varsity game the other day for the first time this year, and he just made a tackle here as he came in for the first time. 4th down and 3 on the 19. Butler going to try a field goal. Harrell said something to him. Butler pointed. Tech has 8 men on the line. They set it down. Butler reaching from the hash mark, and it is good. 27-17, Dogs by 10 points. 60-second network break here on the Georgia Bulldog Network.
People are particularly partial to peanuts. Presidents always claim the pretty peanuts.
This is Tyrone Spearman of the Georgia Peanut Commission. Remember, a Bulldog party is just not a party without Georgia Peanuts.
Portable basic popular protein packed peanuts. The All-American Bunch. The All-American Bunch.
A big Texas barbecue and cold, crisp old Milwaukee or smooth golden old Milwaukee Light. Man, it doesn't get any better than this.
There's nothing like the flavor of America and old Milwaukee feel. Old Milwaukee and old Milwaukee Light.
The Stroh Brewery, Detroit, Michigan.
Butler going to kick off. Darrell Jones has asked the crowd to roar for the Dogs' defense. The kick is sailing a mile. I mean sailing. In the bleachers again, just barely in the front row of the bleachers. Corey Collier had drifted deep for Tech. He'll probably stay in the lineup now, as we were all speculating up here, Louie and Dick and I, that Levette was starting to look a little bit tired late in that third quarter. Or as he had a day again. After all, he hadn't played in weeks. When a guy is out that long, I don't care when he's finally healthy, he hasn't had enough work to really be normal. This has been true of a lot of the Georgia injuries as well. But Levette is back now at the tail. Cone is back at full, and Collier sits down. Georgia's in a 5, almost a 6. Tech lining up under 20. They trail by 10. They run the fullback. He has a hole at the guard, and it closes on him. Somebody laying on the bottom grabbed him first. Thurston was the first guy on the 22 that hit him, and young Jake Richardson, the second man to hit him. Ronnie Cone cracking at right guard. They move it up to the 23 and give him 3 yards. Georgia leading by 10, 27-17. 10:56 in the clock running. Richard Salem, Tech's big senior split end, splitting out to the left. And Jeff Kiesler splitting only 4 or 5 yards to the right. Georgia in a 5-2 at the moment. Flanker in motion, cornerback going with him. And they pitch it to Levette, who needs a block. He starts out, and they break down the blocking and knock him down on the 24. Levette running a sweep. And they knock him down on about the 24. Thurston first. Young Calvin are up the defensive end. The second man is going to be 3rd and 6, Bill.
Almost the same position on the field and the same play as he ran 80 yards on early in the ball game.
Yeah, that's right. He ran 72.5. They were sitting on the 27.5 and just about on that spot now. 3rd down on the 24. Tech's got a slot on the right. They trail by 10, and there's 10:06 to go. Georgia's in a 4-3, backing up a linebacker. Here comes Dewberry sprinting out wide to the right. Freddie Gilbert chasing him. He dumps a pass complete to the 39 and out of bounds. He threw a running pass just before Gilbert was going to get him on the corner. He hit Kiesler, the flanker. And from the 24, Tech got 16. Let's call it the 40. The front nose of football is on there. So Tech keeps the drive alive, and the clock stops at 9:55. 27-17. Tech has led 7-0 and 14-7. Georgia has led 17-14 and 27-17. Two teams have been tied 7-7, 14-14, and 17-17. We had 3 ties today. Tech flip-flops 2 men to the right. One of them was a slot man, a run balance on the right technically now. Now he starts back in motion. And they run to the full, and driving comes Cone up to the 44 for 4 yards. Ronnie Cone, that big senior fullback, driving in there. Kid out of Statesboro. Henry Harris in the middle, the nose guard. Jake Richardson, the sophomore out of Smyrna, on the stop. Tech is second down 5.5 because the ball actually crossed the 44. 9:34, 9:33 to play. Georgia with a 10-point lead. It's been a grim war. Levette, 150 yards, 22 carries already. Virtually now, and like a wing tee to the right, but now they put the wing in motion. And now that quick pitch to Levette to get him out. Thurston partially slowed him, and flanked the corner came up to get him around the 48. That quick pitch to the left, they sweep everybody that side, the side the motion man was going, and they just got around the corner. Thurston, Culpepper rather, grabbing at his arm from behind him. The gain was 4 yards to the 48. He's got 154 yards. Tech now has got 1.5 yards to go here on 3rd down. They're up on a 48.5. The Yellow Jackets moving, a lot of yardage on the ground today. Georgia finally threw him for some losses in the 3rd quarter. Big play here. Tech on a 48.5 on 3rd down. Kiesler in motion one way, starts back the other. And so they run Levette in there, and he got hit, but he got across the 50 and a first down by a couple of feet or so. He got hit right on the 50, but fell forward for a first down and got a couple of yards. Levette's got about 156 yards now. Culpepper hit him. Ruff, the end, hit him. Dean, the safety, hit him. That's what I waited for. Here comes little Corey Collier in now, a fresh running back. Little 5'7" kid out of Columbus, Georgia, who jumps and darts around. He's had 3 great games in a row as a sub for Levette. First down, Tech on the Georgia 49, just outside of the 49. Blacker in motion over to the wide side, and they go to Collier. He starts in, and somebody dove in the middle and knocked him down. They ran a little trap in there, and Culpepper was a guy that cracked him right on the line. He only got 1 yard. 30-second local timeout here on the Bulldog Network.
The Gwinnett Daily News has full Sunday editions. Now each Saturday and Sunday morning, the Gwinnett Daily News will be delivered before breakfast with up-to-the-minute scores, national and international, as well as local news and more. The Gwinnett Daily News, the nation's fastest-growing newspaper, can be delivered to your door each Saturday and Sunday morning before breakfast. Look for it if you already subscribed. If you don't, start your subscription to the Gwinnett Daily News today by calling 963-0311.
First come, first serve basis. Holding penalty on Tech as they stop Collier on a trap for only about 1 yard. Tech takes a 10-yard penalty back to the 40. They are now technically first down and a little better than 20. They started on the Georgia 49.5. They put it back on a Tech 40. Tech first down, long yardage. Collier motion to the right. And they go to the fullback, and driving 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the 50 comes Ronnie Cone. They had a hole there in the middle. Tommy Thurston, a linebacker. Levette officially 24 carries, 156 yards for Levette. Tech's got 255 on the ground. And maybe without that play, they might have 265 now. Cone just got 10 in the middle. Take a second down and 10 and a half. 7:21 to play. Georgia leading by 10 points, 27-17. Tech splits 2 men to left. Slot to the left. Dogs are in a 4-3. Newberry dropping back to throw. Dumps it to a back. Cone complete on a 50. He pulled away from one man and went down to the 43. Got away from Ruff the end, but Culpepper, the linebacker, got him. They dumped it to a back. So Cone got 10, and then Cone on the pass got about 7 where they're going to put it down. He got 8. He's close to the 42. Tech's third down now, reaching for a first down. 3rd and 3. 6:41 to play. Georgia leading 27-17. It is tough warfare out there. Dogs just flew down the field a moment ago, made 3 penalties and killed themselves, but got a field goal out of it, which may turn out to be very big, men. Dogs in a 5-2. Newberry puts a flanker motion to the left. He gives to the fullback, who shoots in there for the first down, driving to the 35. They keep trapping that fullback back inside. They're running right up the gut of the Georgia defense. And Keith Glanton, the number 2 fullback that time, got about 7 big yards to the Georgia 36 or 35 and a half. Calvin Ruff from behind, a young defensive end, yanked him down. First down, Georgia Tech. They've come all the way down to the Georgia 35 and a half. They've had 1 penalty, slowed their drive down. They just made up for it, though, running fullbacks up the middle. Newberry running them very, very well. Flanker in motion. Darrow Eyes starts back the other way. And they go to Levette, stumbling inside. Off balance, he lunged and got 5. He was stumbling after he took the pitch, almost had a hand on the ground, and still went 5 anyway. They're just outside the 30. Calvin Ruff again on the stop. Tech is 2nd and 5, sitting on the Georgia 30, an inch outside of the 30. They only got 4.5 to go. Georgia hanging on barely to a 10-point lead, 27-17. Georgia Tech up to the line. Darrell Norton wide left. Kiesler in the slot there with them. The black and gold in the shadows now. They've made a long drive on the ground here against the dog defense. 6 inches. Ball right on the 30. Tech's got to go to the 25 and a half for a first down. 3rd down, 4.5 Tech. Gunny Salem out wide to the left. Kiesler out wider than he is. Black went out first with him. Tech's got 2 running backs. They're overshifted left side. They may go sweeping that way. Let's see. Newberry dropping back to throw. Newberry going down the middle and touchdown. He hit Levette down the middle open. And it's 27-23 with 4:38. After all that running, they lined up like they might try that pet sweep to the left, but he threw down the middle to Levette. Bill?
They ought to go for 2 here, then they could win with a field goal.
4:38. They line up 8-10 yards to the left of the ball. Are they going to go for 2? Georgia really watching them closely. They have not shifted. Now they shift. Dewberry had been alone behind the ball. Is Dewberry going to hold? Tech is 4 points down. These final 4 minutes are really going to be something. Dewberry holds it, and the kick is up there. The kick is good. 27-24. 60-second local timeout on the Bulldog Network.
Consider the case of Merman, Furman, and Blurman, an advertising agency dependent upon their telephones.
JB, the check is in the mail. Let's take a lunch. LP, the lunch is in the mail. Let's take a check.
Listen, fellas.
Huh?
Pretty soon I think we're going to have to buy our business phones.
Us? Pick up a check? Oh, no.
Merman, Furman, and Blurman are about to enter the phone zone.
What'll we do?
Not to panic, fellas. Now we can get rid of our old Ma Bell phones and buy a new state-of-the-art business phone system from Executone.
Executone is in all 50 states.
Right, the big, dependable business phone company.
But Ma Bell will run us up the flagpole and leave us there. We'll be up Ad Creek without a paddle.
Fellas, now we can choose Executone, a business phone system that's better, cleaner, brighter.
Longer, lower, wider. New and improved. At a price we can afford.
And it's caffeine-free.
What?
Merman, Furman, and Blurman now leaving the phone zone, thanks to Executone, the nationwide business phone company.
For more information on Executone, call Bill Bechtel in Atlanta at 427-4663.
Tech may try a little short onside kick. Levette's got 161 yards rushing, 39 passing for 200 yards. Darrell Jones, the only back. Tech going to try a very high, short kickoff. Fair catch call for Jones and Wisham ran into each other, falling around the 30, 32-yard line. Wisham came retreating. They tried to kick a high, short ball over Georgia's 10 men that were lined well up on the field. See how it bounced. Georgia only one man there. Wisham ran back and bumped into him. Georgia's got the ball on their own 29. It's 27-24. The Dogs have got to hold on the ball now and make no mistakes for 4.5 minutes, 4:35. Georgia barely 3 points ahead in the Cotton Bowl, sweating and sweating. Tech's in a 5-2, and they're fired up. Georgia's got Hockaday and Archie to the left. Todd Williams runs an option and pitches it to Keith Montgomery. Flag down. Here come the flags again on the block out in front of Montgomery, I'm afraid. Penalty again on Georgia. Penalty after penalty in the fourth quarter as the Dogs go backwards. They waited till the fourth quarter for all of this to happen. Roof, the linebacker, Westbrook, the safety, hit him. Georgia coaches are just stunned by the sudden rash of penalties that hit them only in the fourth quarter. Pause here, 10 seconds for station identification.
Follow the Dogs all season long with the new Light 106 WWLT Gainesville.
Illegal block, 5-yard penalty. Georgia shoved back to her 24, first down, 1st and 15. Dogs desperately need a couple of first downs, and I mean desperately. Todd Williams to the fullback, driving Barry Young in the middle, pushed 4 or 5 yards. It'll be a big second down coming up. This stadium rocking. The crowd sensing that Tech might get the ball back and strike for an upset. Anderson, number 2 right side linebacker, Ivor Lee, the nose guard, hit him. Ball spotted on the 29. The gain was 4. It's second down, 10.5. You got 4.5. Series of down started from the 29.5. Georgia second down on their own 29. Got to go to the 39.5 for a first down. Young in motion, and they pitch it to Montgomery, but they fought off the block. They threw him for a loss. Tech is fired up and driving the Dogs backwards. Pike the end, and Danny Jones, the linebacker, around the 24.5, a 5-yard loss. Tech trying to take control of the line of scrimmage right here at the end and get the ball back. It's only 27-24. When the Dogs started making penalties in the fourth quarter, one cost them a touchdown, that one series of penalty after penalty, and then this last one hurt as they tried to go. Now they got a third down play that is going to turn out to be almost the biggest third down of the regular season. Georgia on their own 24, 3rd and 15. Archie wide right, Harris to the left. The Tech fans roaring against the Dogs. Todd Williams needs 15 yards. They ran Montgomery on a trap. He came up at right tackle to the 32 or 3. He got about 6 or 7, and Tech wants to call time with 2:51 to stop the clock on the 32. Malone, the linebacker, knocked him down. Timeout, 30-second local break on the Bulldog Network.
Davison's for the life you live.
Davison's Gwinnett Place opening February 1st with exciting ideas for your home. The latest in fashions, state-of-the-art electronics, and more. Everything for the life you live, all under one roof. Davison's Gwinnett Place. Join Davison's February 1st for the grand opening celebration with exciting events at Davison's Gwinnett Place.
For the life you live, we've got it now at Davison's.
When the Dogs kick, as well as Chip Andrews has kicked today, it'll be the biggest kick of the day, biggest kick of the year for him. Tennessee 7, Vanderbilt nothing. End of the first quarter. Texas Tech 10, Arkansas nothing at the half. Repeating, Texas murdered Texas A&M 45-13. Nebraska, Oklahoma nothing. End of the first quarter. Scores of the courtesy of WRFC in Athens. Dogs 4th and 8. Montgomery got 7 on a trap at right tackle. Georgia's got to give the ball up back to Tech. Tech's got 7 men on the line. Westbrook, the deep man. They don't rush. Andrews kicks beautiful. Long Andrews kick. Long kick. Westbrook to the 14. Up the middle, 15. And hit around the 25 and mob. Boy, did Chip Andrews get his foot in that thing. when they had to have 53-yarder. Now Tech has got to go 75 yards to upset the Dogs or tie the Dogs. Ball on the 25. Mitchell, a reserve linebacker on a kick covering team, was the first man that hit him, and 3 or 4 other white shirts did. Now the biggest series of the day coming. Georgia Tech, Darrell Norton wide to the left. I mean real wide this time, and the flanker is only 2 yards outside the right. Dewberry looking at a Georgia 5-2. Flanker starts in, goes back, and they go pitching to Levitt, and Freddie Gilbert grabbed him back on the 25-yard loss. Gilbert shoved a blocker and grabbed him. Tony Capano, the guard, pulled out, but Gilbert shoved off the blocker. It's a 4-yard loss instead of a 5 to the 21. Tech calls time and stops the clock with 2:25 to go. 60-second local timeout here on the Bulldog Network.
This Thanksgiving, Atlanta's stereo and video bargain hunters will be busy. They'll brave mauling crowds at the department stores, only to wait to be waited on by part-time holiday helpers who'll be hustling lingerie and egg timers tomorrow. They'll drive all over town to shop cut-rate stereo stores, only to find out that cut rate applies only to the quality of the products. But smart stereo and video shoppers this Thanksgiving will buy at Hi-Fi Buys. Because now through Sunday, there are no lower prices on stereo and video equipment in Atlanta than at Hi-Fi Buys. Guaranteed. Like a Kenwood AM/FM cassette car stereo for just $149, or a Denon receiver with 100-watt peaks for just $249. And to make it even easier to buy at Hi-Fi Buys, we now have special long-term easy credit plans for qualified buyers, which will delay your first payment until March of '84. So you see, the best Thanksgiving deals in stereo, video, television, big screens, car stereo, tapes, and accessories really are at Hi-Fi Buys now. Buckhead, Marietta, Athens, and Sandy Springs.
Salem and Kiesler to the left. 2 running backs. Dewberry on 2nd and 14 to throw. Dumps it across the line to Cone, and they hit him hard. He fumbled, and now they roll it incomplete. Georgia's got the ball. The official said no. Cone caught a little 5-yard pass on the right side, and the Dogs hit him so hard, and the ball just blew out of there. Cone may be hurt with 2:19 left. The clock stopped there. Officials timeout here. He really got racked. Lauren?
That was Tommy Thurston. That was a decapitation kind of tackle. Boy, that was tough.
2 minutes and 19 seconds. Cone caught a little 5-yard pass. He's run very well against us all day long, and he got hit the very instant it was settling into his hands. He's down on the 25. It'll be 3rd and 14, but here a 30-second local timeout now on the Bulldog Network.
George is going for 2 at Stone Mountain. Hi, this is Larry Munson, and right now is your opportunity to make the great play of 1984 while Stone Mountain's yearly vehicle permits are on sale. When you buy 1 permit at the regular price of $10, you get the 2nd permit for just $5. That's 1 to keep and 1 to share. Buy your permit at the park gates or use your Visa and MasterCard and order by phone at 498-2334. That's 498-2334. Or place your order by mail. Include $1 for postage and handling. Stone Mountain Park, Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Cone is still down. They're just now 2 assistants putting him up in a sitting position. He was hit so viciously as they dumped the pass to the fullback, a little on the right side, but actually right across their own right end, not out wide in a flat. 2 minutes and 19 seconds. The incomplete pass. Dogs had recovered the ball when it popped out, but he never really had possession of it. The incomplete pass would have stopped the clock anyway. Cone now being held up. Boy, he really took a lick. He was off balance as he caught that little short pass. They're going to help him off. He really took a lick. Getting a big hand from the stands here, and a lot of the Georgia fans are clapping for him, too. Tech now on their own 21, and what a 3rd down this is. 27-24, Georgia by 3. 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Dewberry up to the line. Glanton and Levitt, the running backs. Wide slot left. Dogs in a 4-man front. Dewberry looking over the middle, and incomplete as he reached for it. Georgia hit him. That was Thurston who hit him on the 25. Levitt coming across and got racked a second later. He tried to dump it to Levitt. Tech becomes 4th down with the clock stopped. They may have called time again and stopped the clock, their last time out. 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Georgia by 3 points, 27-24. 30-second local timeout here on the Bulldog Network.
Davison's for the life you live.
Davison's Gwinnett Place opening February 1st with exciting ideas for your home. The latest in fashions, state-of-the-art electronics, and more. Everything for the life you live, all under one roof. Davison's Gwinnett Place. Join Davison's February 1st for the grand opening celebration with exciting events at Davison's Gwinnett Place.
For the life you live, we've got it now at Davison's.
Larry Munson, Dick Payne, Louis Phillips, Bill Hartman Sr., Randy Mullinax, Hugh Christian, Lawrence Smith, Gary Glenn, all of us here. 4th and 14, Tech, Bill.
Well, I think they'll go deep this time with a hope to hell. It may work. It has worked in Atlanta in the last week or so.
Well, that's right, it did. Tech has 363 yards net, rushing and passing at the moment. Georgia's 344 yards. Tech on the 21, 4th and 14, no timeouts left, 2:14 to go. Dogs in a 4-man front. It's a 5 now. They're in a 5-3. Tech in an eye. They put the flanker motion to the wide side of the field where they had a man split. They fake a trap. Dewberry looking, and there goes that long bomb. It's complete on the 50, and he went out of bounds, sliding to stop the clock. They hit Darrell Wise long down the left side for 30 big yards to the 49.5, 29 yards just across the 50. Tech now with a chance to suddenly win or tie. They have no timeouts, 2:08. They went deep down that left side, and he was at least 2 yards in front of a defensive back. Here comes Tech up to the line of scrimmage. They're just across the 50 by a foot. Georgia trying desperately to win the 9th game of the year. They run a little trap in the middle, and jumping in there, Keith Glanton got about 4. They try to run a fullback trap. He got 4 to the 46. 2nd down and 6. Tech's got to line up quickly. They have no timeouts. 1:43, 1:42. Georgia trying to hold on us on the 45.5 at 2nd down and about 5.5. Dewberry going to throw. Looking over the middle, complete on the 36. The second man finally got him and wrestled him out or near the side. Gary Williams, a tight end. Tech coming down here. They're going to be in position at least to tie it with a field goal. They dumped it over the line, and they got 10 yards and a first down on the 36. I don't know if he got out of bounds with it or not. There's 91 seconds to go. Tech has come flying down the field, a 49-yarder. And now a great big 10-yarder or 11-minute and 31. 27-24. Tech trying desperately to strike and pull a shocking upset win right at the end. They split 2 men out in an eye. Dogs are in a 5-2, trying to hang on in their 35.5. And Dewberry sprinting out to the left, running, looking. He's lobbing to a man open. It's broken up. Intercepted by Flack. Tony Flack intercepted. A one-handed catch falling backward. Tech had a man open on the 10. They had Kiesler open on the 10. And Tony Flack jumped in front of him. They had a flanker, either Wise or Kiesler. Flack got up in the air and caught it and went down on the 9. With 82 seconds left, the Dogs may have saved themselves there. Tech arched a pass to a man down the side about 25 yards. Bill Flack made a great play.
Very similar to Darrell Jones' play against Florida. Same place on the field.
That's
Both
right.
of them were great catchers.
Same sideline. That's right. Here he had to jump and time one-handed because the receiver was behind him, and Dewberry had arched the ball. Georgia's on their own 9 with the clock in their favor now. Tech on a blitz in the middle, and the quarterback, Todd Williams, going to curl on the ball down there and take a deliberate yard or 2 loss. And the clock is 1:15. Lauren?
Larry, that's got to be one of the most beautiful sights on earth. A close game like this, the ancient rivalry, the quarterback taking the ball, lying belly flop on the ground while the clock ticks away. Tech with no timeout.
Dogs took a deliberate 2-yard loss back to the 7, 27-24 with 53 seconds. Wow, you think this isn't a war. Todd Williams looking. Tech has now come up. 11 men on the line of scrimmage and trying to shove the Dogs back. Todd Williams came back. Now they're going to start a fight. Tech kept shoving and shoving, though Todd Williams and the ball had run on back. So the crowd starts to boo. Dogs deliberately taking a loss and letting the clock run. They take another yard loss. They put it back on the 6. 27-24. Going to get finally the 9th win of the year. Texas got behind 13-0 today and then rallied to win. Had to score 2 touchdowns the second quarter to take a lead. Dogs got behind 7-0 and 14-7. Now the clock is ticking. Georgia's coming up to the line, and it's going to end without a play. 27-24. Georgia has hung on to beat Tech on Tony Flack's miraculous last gasp jump over there to intercept. His defensive play saved the Dogs. And you know, Louis, the receiver got behind him about 2.5 yards or so for a moment, but it was an arching, settling in pass, and Flack got up there and intercepted one-handed, and that saved him because, man, Tech had come flying down the field. Georgia a winner by the skin of their teeth, 27-24. Now, of course, we've got Coach Dooley's locker room show coming up, and don't forget the basketball team is waiting to play Western Kentucky for the championship of the Wendy's Classic up there in Bowling Green, and that's in about just 14 or 15 minutes. 60-second timeout now. Local